All right, and we're live. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast, episode 13. I'm your host, James, and I'm joined by, as always, my good friend and co-founder of the Random Encounter, Big Mike.
What's going on, guys?
Phaneckswhy.
How's it going?
What's going on, guys?
And our special guest today is the captain himself, the one and only, my cousin, Oneeyedwillie. Man, we got a great podcast for you today. We got a bunch of stuff to go over with, such as an update on the Bayonetta controversy. If you guys have been following that, man, it's done a quick 180 there. And I mean, we got a bunch of opinions on that. Also, Resident Evil 4 Remake is looking hot. I'm not sure if everybody here is a Resident Evil fan, but I am, and I can't wait to play that game. And Silent Hill looks like they're back. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I guess we'll still have to wait and see on that. But first, before we go into our main topics of the day, Oneeyedwillie, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, I've always been a gamer. I've played games since I was a little kid. I mentioned to these guys, I started off with TurboGrafx 16. We're talking really old, and just recently started streaming. I've gained a little bit of a following in over a month. I'm up to like 280. But I'm trying to continue to grow and trying to hopefully market myself into something bigger. And I recently started a Discord myself as well, the Streamboat. Shout out to them. They've helped so much, and they've helped me grow a lot.
Yeah, man. No, definitely. I'm on that Discord as well, and that Discord is popping. There's a lot of good people in your Discord, and we appreciate you guys. I know a lot of you are right here joining us for the podcast. We really do appreciate your support. But yeah, you've grown quite a following, man. Like I said, you're the captain himself now, and it's pretty cool to see that. And it's crazy how like our fates intertwine as cousins, right? It's like we've always rolled around like sideways, like parallel lines, and somehow we always get to that intersection where we always meet.
Yeah, literally, my whole life I see myself with you guys my whole life. So gaming is something big in your family, and anyone that knows you knows that you play tons of games, and family do as well. And
that's facts.
That's where and that's actually where I got my love for gaming. After that, it was just, I'm addicted. People say it.
So, we got to ask you this. What's your favorite game of all time?
Oof. My favorite game of all time.
You can drop a few. It doesn't have to
yeah.
be one. You know what I mean?
It's tough just to choose one, so you can do more than one. Sorry.
I would say one of the best games that I've ever played, and it's some game that I'll never forget, is when we played Metal Gear Solid as kids.
I knew you were going to mention that.
I still talk about it to this day. That's back then. You couldn't look up cheats. There was no way to find out secrets, and we're talking Super Nintendo. So how high tech could it be?
Yeah.
And
that would have been
I remember
PlayStation.
the last level. I remember the last level. Oh yeah, or PlayStation, excuse me. And I remember the last level. Us having to take the controller out of the first.
Oh, with
spot.
what's his name? Is it Psychomantis? Right? Psychomantis? Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. You were doing that live. Like, man, why can't we beat this guy?
He did it for hours, and we couldn't beat it. And then I don't know how we thought of it, and we switched it, and bro, we did it.
Yep.
I would say that's one of my favorite games ever.
Yep.
I'd say that's probably one of my top games.
I remember because you had the PS4, or not PS4, I'm sorry, Metal Gear Solid 4 for PS3. That was like one of the first games you got on the PS3. And actually, I still got your copy here. I
remember that.
Yeah. Actually, what do I have? I might have it. Where does my stuff? I think it's packed up with all the other stuff when we moved. But yeah, I still got that copy of Metal Gear Solid 4. And yeah, man, like that's one of my most memorable moments with you for sure. That and back then playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on your Genesis. Like if you listen to our retro podcast that we had, like our retro episode where we talk about all of our up and coming, or the games that we grew up with and things like that. That was one of the things. Is like I never had a Genesis as a kid, but you always had the Genesis. And I remember when we lived in New York, playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in the room, and we were going through, and I think you, or I think it was Pete, Peter's dad, he got like to the last level or something like that, and we're watching. It was like some crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, we played Sonic so much. Remember, I had the Game Gear as well.
Yeah, I remember that. You had it on there, yeah. If you guys remember, Fan and Mike, remember how I told you that I got the Game Gear as well, and I was so happy, and then I got this other game, but then my cousin had Sonic. I was like, oh man, again? Like, not once, but twice I didn't get Sonic. Like, I was always so jealous. I was like, man, like, I guess I'm not meant to play Sonic. That's why when I started getting my own money, I'll never forget, when I started getting my own money, the first game that I bought was Sonic, a Sonic game. I was like, you know what? I'm going to play Sonic.
Are you going to get Sonic Frontiers?
Actually, I think I am, because it's actually looking really good. So, you know, and I think that's part of a reason why I'm a Sonic fan now, is because I never got a chance to really have a Sonic game. So I was like, you know what? Now I get to have a Sonic game. Oh, man.
Always been amazing games. I mean, just running around getting those coins.
Yep. And I still remember also playing, remember the Nintendo, you had the track and field, the mat for your NES. Remember that? Yeah,
I forgot about
we cheat
that.
growing up, and we just use our hands to.
Yeah, we did that too.
I forgot about that, to be honest with you.
Oh man, I remember all of that, because those were like, you know, some
duck hunting too.
Yeah, the duck hunt gun. Yep, you had that too. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I remember that, bro.
Hey, we
that
just got to follow.
Lit,
Dan X the bully. Appreciate the follow, man. Appreciate that. I forgot that I didn't have the stream in front of my face. I'm here like, where did that sound come from? And I'm looking around all my monitors. Oh, Shiesty coming back. Appreciate the follow, man. Appreciate you guys coming in hard. Oh man, that means we need like 7 more followers, I think, to affiliate. 6 more, something like that.
Yeah.
Man, we appreciate you guys showing up. But yeah, before we go into the main topic, oh man, another one, Zomvarella 81. Appreciate the follow, man. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, definitely. Guys. So before we go into like those other topics, before we continue the conversation, let's go ahead with what we've been playing. Let's start with you, Oneeyedwillie. What you've been playing?
Played a lot of Fortnite. That's what I've been playing a lot. I mean, I've gotten into and out of NHL. I played a little bit of sports games. I like sports, as you can see. But to be honest with you, Fortnite has taken a lot of my time, and I've actually really been interested in playing Dead by Daylight. Yeah. That's actually a game that I've been very interested in buying and playing. Yeah, I was watching who was it? I gotta see. I follow them on Twitch, and I was talking with them. There was somebody in your Discord that was watching it. And it was actually the first time I've ever seen it, because I knew of the game. I just never actually played it, or seen gameplay rather, and I know he was playing it. I was like, man, it looks pretty interesting. I'm trying to remember who it was. If you're on the podcast, Marty.
Oh, Marty. Was it Marty? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, Marty. Yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that. I was like, man, that game is pretty dope. Like, I've never played it. But yeah, definitely looks like a fun game to play for sure. And real quick before we continue, the anonymous streamer, appreciate the follow for sure. And what's up, Nella on YouTube, man? We appreciate you coming in as well. Yeah, guys, don't forget, we're also on YouTube, so if you do want to check us out on YouTube, feel free to hit that subscribe button on YouTube as well. We need, I believe, 5 more subscribers before we can get that custom link, so we don't have all those X, Y, Z's, and all that random stuff.
And we need 4 more to affiliate on Twitch.
Oh, 4 more to affiliate. Yeah, we do appreciate that.
We love all the love, guys.
Yeah.
Really up there.
Yeah. Fan, what you been playing?
I'm still just doing Elden Ring. I'm trying to get back into Final Fantasy X, because I put that on the back burner.
Oh, yeah.
When I started Elden Ring and finishing Bayonetta. So I need to get back into playing that. It'd be nice to just kind of like have a kind of a more slower pace game, because, you know, Final Fantasy X, from what I've played so far, doesn't seem fast paced like Bayonetta, which is just like an action RPG shooter. So I'm trying to get back into that.
No, definitely. What about you, Mike? What you been playing?
Man, I'm still trying to beat God of War, man. I've been having technical difficulties with that for the past like month, man. Other than that, though, I've still been playing Returnal, PS5.
Oh yeah.
Really, really, really good game if you like roguelites. Like it's really good. Like it's because it's if you like challenging games too. If not, if you don't like challenging games, you're gonna break controllers with that game, guaranteed.
Yeah. No, I was going to play that again with my son. And kind of a segue to what I've been playing. I was going to play that with my son, but we actually been playing Resident Evil 5 instead, co-op. And of course, me and Oneeyedwillie and my son, we were playing Fortnite the other day. Like 2 days ago, or was that yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Was it? Okay, yeah. They tend to like, blend in because, we had a tough week this week. But yeah, we're playing Fortnite, and that's funny because we're going in and like we're telling my son like, hey, stay together, don't move on yourself, and it's like the same things that my brother-in-law when we play with him, when we tell him, hey, you gotta go as a group, don't say all these things, don't confuse us. He starts doing it to him, and he's like, yeah, you gotta relax, let your dad play, he knows what he's doing, let him play. But he tries to be like a backseat driver. He's like, no, dad, go pick this up, drop this, and it's like confusing. I was like, what are you talking about? What do you want me to do? So I started getting confused with all this stuff. But yeah, I've had fun playing Fortnite. With them for sure. Like, for those of you who've been watching the stream, I wasn't a big Fortnite fan for the longest, and then once Zero Bill came in, had more fun. And I decided, let me play with my son. It's a good father-son bonding thing, and it's actually really fun. It's changed my mind. So yeah, definitely Fortnite's pretty fun every now and then. I was streaming it the other day too, and wasn't really getting bored. So yeah,
I might have to download it and check it out again because I haven't played since the new build came out.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I mean, we should all do like our group stream. Yeah, we could do a group stream with this, for sure.
Yeah.
And if you want,
played since like
Fortnite since it came out on the Switch.
Yeah. So there you go. If Oneeyedwillie want to do it on our group streams on Tuesdays, we can do that. We can all do the simul stream and all that stuff. But yeah,
I suck though. Just a forewarning, I'm not gonna be good at this game, dude.
Yeah, same.
Get a win.
Yeah, we'll get this. It's practice. You'll get into it. I mean, it's pretty much like any other shooter. I think you'll get used to it over time. With Zero Build, at least. With the building part, nah. Like, I can't, man. You got these people that go hard and start building this wall all around you and like enclosing you. I can't. Yeah. I can't do that yet.
Yeah, that's why I stopped playing. That stuff pissed me off, man. I was
like,
come on, man. I almost killed you when you built this fortress in
exactly
7 seconds, dude. Like,
play builds, but I'm not as good as them at building.
Yeah,
I would say my aim is just what helps me out a lot.
Yeah,
and that's Call of Duty.
Right.
Who's good? Who's also part of your Discord? Oneeyedwillie, is Cobra. I've been watching him how he snipes. I was like, man,
yeah, Core.
Or was like Core? Yeah, I said Cobra. My fault.
Corvor.
Corvor. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He, I was watching his stream. I was like, man, like, and I see him snipe. I was like, I snipe like that, and then I go and start sniping. I was like, no, I don't snipe like that.
He's good. Yeah, he's got like 70 crowns in Fortnite already.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a lot. Yeah.
Hey, Celos93, you said you're my son's friend. Appreciate you joining the stream, man. Appreciate that. And yeah, if you guys see a shout out like on the Twitch or the YouTube, let me know because I'm also looking at my notes trying to like multitask on what's next and things like that. But yeah, outside of Fortnite and Resident Evil 5, I've been I've been kind of digging into my past and going back to like older games. So I was actually playing Super Mario Land, which was on the original Game Boy. And I know it gets a bad rep, but I actually really like that game. It might be nostalgia, but like I do enjoy playing that game. And then I
like that game.
Yeah. Okay, I thought I was the only one because I've seen other people saying like, "Oh, it's like one of the worst Mario games." I was like, I mean, I don't.
I used to play it on the Game Boy on the bus before school, like in like elementary.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, I think it's better than Super Mario Land 2, but it might be nostalgia hitting me. But I prefer that. And then I've been playing what's it called? Rockman and Forte, aka Mega Man and Bass, but the SNES version. Because that version just has better music. And for those of you new to the channel, I'm all about video game music. Hence why our Starting Soon has video game music in it. But like, I prefer the SNES music to the GBA music, which is the version that we got over here in the United States. So I've been playing that, and that's been pretty fun. But yeah, that's really what I've been playing these past few days. And I'm probably gonna play some more Mega Man and Bass, aka Rockman and Forte today. But yeah, so moving on to our first topic, the update on Helena Taylor and basically what she started. So for those of you who haven't been following along with that, so the voice actress of Bayonetta last week, I believe it was last Saturday, right? Last Saturday or last Sunday?
Yeah. It was wrong. It was like, I think it was like Friday or Saturday of last week.
So she went in and she basically said that Platinum Games was only going to pay her $4,000 for the whole game. And, you know, of course, everybody's uproar. Like, man, like $4,000 is not a lot as a voice actress. Like, you should definitely get paid more than that, especially for a whole game. But on Monday of this week, Bloomberg had a report saying that apparently they found files and evidence that was not the case. That it was $4,000 for, I believe, what was it, like 5 sessions or something like that?
It was like, they said it was, they don't have, it's not like anything set in stone, but they're like saying it's like 4 to 5 sessions.
Yeah. So that would equal to, you know,
like
between $16,000 to $20,000, which, you know, in my opinion, I think that's a pretty good amount, depending on how many lines and stuff like that there is. And apparently she turned that down.
It's like a month's work, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's like to make almost $20,000 in a month, like that's not bad money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like way more than what I get paid. Like,
right? Like that's like half a year's salary, you know, for most people, dude. Like
exactly. You know, and to put it there, like she's not a high end like not to put her on the spot, but like she's not a big time voice actress, right? Like you got to think. Like, she's not on the level of, like, Troy Baker and all these other guys. So, you know, to me, like, that's still a lot of good money. You know, that's like hiring for your movie some unknown person to be the main character, right? You know, they're not going to get paid as much as, say, if you got Tom Cruise to be in the movie, you know, who gets paid lots of money. So, anyways, she was basically trying to get the public to go against Platinum Games and to boycott the game. But it looks like it backfired. And this is one of those things that, you know, we were talking about in the last stream is you always got to, you know, wait and see and look at both sides before you go ahead and start boycotting, because you never know the facts, especially in situations like that. And, you know, full disclosure, we still don't know the whole story, but this is based off of evidence that Bloomberg has found. And, you know, the
actual author of it, his name's Jason Schreier.
Yeah, Jason Schreier, like who's a well-known insider.
Yeah, and he's the one who found it out through Bloomberg.
Yeah,
and he's like very, very, very credible.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about that? Let's start with you, Mike. Or you want to go ahead? One-Eyed?
No, go ahead. Go
okay.
ahead, Mike.
No, I think it puts a bad name on people trying to do like good things for people in that kind of work environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you lie about something, then it just seems like everyone's lying about that when they're like, oh, we get overworked and underpaid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think by her doing this, it's a negative connotation for everybody. And I think everyone's mad at it. You know what I mean? Like how to lie about that, it's just like it's a bad rep.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. What were you gonna say, Willie?
I think that when you are trying to be a big name, trying to do something, make your name blow up, you know, go viral, whatnot. You say stuff like that, you know what I mean? People, you know, in today's day and age, anything that goes online, and I mean, we're talking a big name, you know, company that she's trying to trash, and you know that there's going to be evidence and truth at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's always going to come out.
Yeah.
So either she's going to be right or they're going to be right. There's going to be evidence that's going to come out. And as you guys have acknowledged, I mean, she's trying to she's trying to make herself look out there like she's not getting paid for something that she's actually is getting paid for. And, you know, it's not right. It's not right at all. Yeah. It's not right.
I agree. What about you, Fan?
I mean, pretty much what everyone else said, you know, especially with what Mike was saying, that this happening is gonna just put a bad taste in everyone's mouth when it comes to this another issue comes up with voice actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, well, is this person telling the truth? Are they lying? Is like, what's, this other person did the same thing. It's just gonna have that like thought in the back of our minds now.
Yeah. No, and
Yo, David's in the chat. What's up, David? Stream is popping.
Hey, David, what's up? Appreciate you joining in. Yeah, and I agree with that. It kind of sucks too because it's like, kind of like what Willie was saying. It's the light is gonna show, right? Like whoever is actually at fault here, it would eventually show there. And I think, I don't know, maybe she thought she can hide it, and people would side with her because Twitter keyboard warriors are quick to side without evidence, right? I can pop up and say, hey, I was mistreated at this place, and a lot of people will side with me right away. They don't even know me, and they'll still side with me, but now that this is kind of backfiring to her, it's one of those things like, are people going to hire her? Like, what are you going to say to her? Like, if there's another role that can be fit and she tries to apply for it, is she going to get it? Because, like, for me,
no.
It's like, for me, like,
she's unhireable right now, dude. Like,
exactly.
After that, no one's going to touch her.
Like, hosting this podcast and everything, it's like, if she were to ask, hey, can I be part of your podcast? Like, for me, I'm like, no, like, what are you going to say about us, right? Like, if we say something, like, what are you going to tell us? Like, we mistreated you or something like that? Like, no, like, I don't want that in there, and that's the kind of thing is like, don't do that. Don't put people on the spot, especially if you don't have the evidence. Like, if it was true, then that's a different story. But, like, to think you can get away with a lie, it's not cool. But, I mean, kind of is what it is, right? Like, that's the end of her tale, and I guess that might be the end of her story in the video game business when it comes to that. And, we'll see how that overflows into her professional acting career, because I know she does, like, theater work and stuff like that as well.
That's what you get for lying, dude.
Yep.
Like, that's what you get. No one's going to feel bad for you for lying about something like that, because that's not something that you need to take lightly.
Yeah, no, exactly. And before we move on, I forgot to ask you this. Willie, One-Eyed-Willie. The Goonies, right? That's where you got the name from?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
It's also a movie I watched with your family.
Yep.
So.
Plenty of times. Now, I got to ask you this, though. Is Stranger Things the Goonies of this generation?
No, but it is a great show.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a super good show.
Yeah.
I've watched them all. I mean, it's amazing, but I would say no.
I got you.
This is a family. It's just Goonies is like a family trying to, not lose their home or their city. It's heartfelt.
Yeah.
It's more like meaningful, and it's just it was an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Growing up.
No, I agree with you. That's a movie that I can continue to watch like nonstop, and it's it's still entertaining. And surprisingly, like I said, the closest you can get to that is probably Stranger Things, but for sure, Goonies is what's up.
I think Netflix came out with something very similar. You should check it out. It's very, very close to like Goonies. I would say that it's. I don't know what island it is. It's some sort of an island, but it's definitely. It's got the same vibes. It's got the whole heartfelt family losing their home vibes, and a group of kids that try to find. I think it was gold. I forget. It's been a while since I've seen it, but try to find a gold, just like Goonies.
I'm about to see, which one that is.
I'd have to look it up. I forget what it's called.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll definitely look that up. So moving on to our next topic, we'll start off with I know I put Resident Evil 4, but let's do Silent Hill. Let's go in order of what they what came out first. So Silent Hill, they had their stream announcement where they announced multiple Silent Hill games, which I wasn't expecting. I was actually only expecting one, but at the same time, the Silent Hill stream was called the Silent Hill Transmission. So I guess I should have guessed for there to be multiple games, but they announced Silent Hill 2 Remake, which has been rumored for years, I want to say now. Maybe about 3 years or so.
Dude.
Yeah, because I remember listening to a podcast a few years ago where one of the guys, Nate the Hate, who's a known podcaster and a YouTuber, he had went out and put himself out there saying, yeah, they are working on a Silent Hill remake and it's PlayStation exclusive. And for forever it wasn't coming out. And I remember listening to his podcast, and all the other people on his podcast were like, no, there is no Silent Hill remake. Well, here it is, Silent Hill 2 remake by Blooper Team, which is the people who did The Medium, which in my opinion The Medium, which is a really good game in my opinion. If you haven't played it, definitely check it out. It does give you the Silent Hill vibes. I highly recommend it. It's a very short game. You can probably beat it in like 8 hours or so, but it's still very fun. I enjoyed it when it was on Game Pass, and definitely highly recommend it. It's no longer on Game Pass, but it is available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. But yeah, definitely check out that game. Silent Hill 2 is coming out for PS5, console exclusive, and also coming to PC. What do you guys think about that?
I think it should be good. I seen today there's gonna be like no loading screens and stuff like that. Everything's just gonna be like seamless, and I'm like, that's a big change from the other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. I 100% agree.
Oh.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, fan. When you guys want to go ahead, because we got spam chat in the freaking YouTube thing, so I'm trying to get rid of that.
Oh my god.
So I've never really played the Silent Hill games, so I'm kind of interested to see how this goes. I mean, I know of the games, and I know what type of games they are, but I've never really actually played them myself. So
Gotcha.
I might actually try this remake, getting my feet wet into the Silent Hill series.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I never really played Silent Hill. I played a little bit, but I never really got super into it.
There we go. Yeah,
I love dark games like that.
Oh yeah.
I think that's gonna be one of the coolest features, because you know how today, I mean, any game you play, that loading screens are crazy, and supposedly, like you just said, they're supposed to be seamless, and they should just go from cutscene to a new area or section in the map, which is definitely dope. I mean,
it's super cool, bro.
It's that PS5 for you, man.
Yeah.
It's that NVMe drive.
It's the new school
Quick
gaming,
access.
dude. No more loading
hopefully
screens.
they could do
bro.
that for every game.
yeah.
Apparently, God of War is supposed to have that too, to where there's like no loading screens or anything like that.
Wow.
Like it's just like
But on PC, it doesn't.
No.
It's a lie on PC.
Yeah.
on PC it just crashes. It's a game crashing simulator. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, no, that's the biggest thing too. It's like, and that's the big props to PS5. It's the way the architecture is built, how you can have like basically no loading screens. It's amazing, right? Because back then on SNES era, right, and Genesis era, there wasn't any load screens. But then you get to the PlayStation era, and that's where loading started becoming a thing. And yeah, you had some games. If you remember, Dragon Ball Z Budokai had like mini games in the loading screen, so you can kind of like like press all the buttons and all these other things. They were kind of cool. I mean, even like Fortnite, right? Fortnite has like the custom loading screens that you can go because you have a load. But how much better would all these games be if you just go ahead and you start up a match and bam, you're already there, ready to go. I mean, on the online, it's a little bit harder because you have to wait for everybody to do that. But like in a single player game, yeah, like
I think I'm gonna miss the cool ways that they hid loading screens back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like climbing a ladder, like in Mass Effect, you had that super long elevator ride when you first got to the Citadel. Like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
No, I agree with you. And they would do like the crawl spaces, like Tomb Raider. You had the small crawl spaces. So when you go between area to area, that's how they would hide the load screen. And they did get innovative, but like,
it really did.
no load screen is still way better.
It's still way better. Oh, for sure, man. Like, it saves so much time, dude. Like, what was I think it was in actually Metal Gear Solid, that super long ladder.
Yes, it was. Metal Gear Solid 3, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was like a 10-minute, like literally just like climbing up a ladder. There's no way to skip it, dude. Like...
No, that is funny. Yeah, and then you had the music playing, the Snake Eater, I think, song they plays. Yeah, I'll never forget that. I was like, man, is this ladder? I thought my game was frozen. And I was like, oh man, like the game just keeps going and going. I was like, oh man. But yeah, like it's gonna be neat. For that for sure. And that's one thing. Big props to the PS5. And I know the technology is supposed to be soon. It's supposed to be available on PC. Yeah, and Xbox does have it. They just don't have it to the level as PS5 because like the PS5, since they have custom controllers that allow it to go directly from like the from the GPU to like SSD or something like that. It allows you to load up everything.
It's that AMD technology, man. It's that quick access memory stuff.
Well, it's a custom one that Sony was co-developed with AMD, so that's why the Series X doesn't have it. And PlayStation, they said they have an exclusive right on it until I think it was a year or two. I'm not sure if it's still going on, but later motherboards are supposed to allow it to do the same thing. Only AMD motherboards, though, not Intel like motherboards. So it'll be interesting to see like if PC games actually put that in mind. Because the hardest thing with PC is there's so many different like architectures out there. Like everybody has different I mean, look at us three. We all have different CPUs. We all have different GPUs, right? And it's like we have different RAM and all that stuff.
I think with the release of DDR5 and like the new series of motherboards, it's definitely gonna be a thing in the next few years once they learn how to utilize everything.
Yeah.
Especially with like Gen 5. Like NVMe SSDs and stuff like that coming out, it's definitely going to be a thing in like 2-3 years when they become affordable.
Yeah. Yo, real quick. Yo, Grover, what's up? Thanks for joining in on the podcast.
What's up, dude?
And everybody else, if I haven't shout you out, I really appreciate you guys joining in. We're at the 14 Twitch members there. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that follow button on Twitch. And also go ahead and go out to YouTube and definitely hit that subscribe button over there. We do got solo content that comes out, every week. I know Mike has a video this week coming out this week, and I might have 2 videos coming out this week. And it's just, little 10-minute videos that we do about, video games, right? The best thing in the world. So definitely go ahead and do those things. We'll really appreciate all the support. Trying to get affiliate on Twitch and also get those 100 subscribers on YouTube so we can get that custom link. But yeah, so moving on, that wasn't the only Silent Hill announcement. They also announced Silent Hill Townfall. This is developed by No Code Studios, who did 2 games that I've never heard of, called No Stories Untold and Observation. And it's published by Annapurna Interactive, which they've done. They've published a couple of other games, but I mean they're just a publisher, so I guess it doesn't really mean much. And there's no information on it. They show like a little like creative documentary about it, but that's about it. Like there's still. No.
Literally hate because I hate when studios do that, dude. Like just don't announce it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I hide everything.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, well, yeah, it's hiding, or it's like to let people know, hey, we are working on this game. We just don't have anything to show, but we are
Don't forget about us.
Exactly.
I would rather not know.
Yeah.
Just because now I'm like go to sleep thinking, I wonder what that is. You wake up you'll be going to work halfway through your work day. I wonder what that game's about. You know what I mean? So it just eats you up, man.
Yeah.
That's probably why they do it though. You know what I mean?
David writes, I never played a Silent Hill game. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I answered that question. I know you guys said you haven't played a Silent Hill game, but the only Silent Hill game I played was Silent Hill The Room. I think that was Silent Hill 3. That one was pretty interesting because you're in a room, you're trapped in a room, and then you get out, and every time you get out of the room, it's you're in a totally different scenario, which was pretty crazy. But to me, Silent Hill was just the wannabe Resident Evil. So I never really, bought a Silent Hill game.
I don't think it's wannabe Resident Evil because I think there's a more Resident Evil is more horror action. I feel like Silent Hill is more
or suspense.
Mystery, kind of deal to it.
Oh no, yeah, and I 100% agree. I meant growing up, when I was little, that's how I saw it. I was like, oh, how you see certain games, you're like, oh, this is a wannabe whatever, right? So that's the way I saw it. But after I played Silent Hill.
Do you have guns in Silent Hill?
You do, yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
okay.
You get guns. You also get bats and things like that as well. So that was the first horror game where you actually had weapons like a bat, so you can hit these monsters with that as well.
Yeah, the only thing I really know about Silent Hill is I remember from X-Play back in the day.
Yeah,
they were having a video, and one of the secret endings is the one dog controlling everything.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know about Silent Hill, dude.
That was Silent Hill 2. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the thing, because he's the main character is asking it was you all along, and then you just see it's a dog that was controlling everything. But But yeah, that was that. But yeah, so Silent Hill Townfall, no information. I guess, now that I think about it, it's kind of us saying, hey, we have some videos coming out. Just stay tuned. But at least we have videos coming out, right? You don't have to wait a few years to see them. We'll have them out this week,
Right.
Like an
artist. Wait, 2 days, dude.
Yeah.
It's like if Eminem posted on Twitter, like, "Hey, I got a new album coming out that I've been working on. Don't forget about me. I'm still here."
Yeah.
And then you don't hear from him for
later.
like 3 years. It's like, I'm still working on that album.
Yeah. So moving on, there's another one, and this one also, at least we have a little bit more information about this. It's called Silent Hill F. It's a new spin-off. It's set in 1960s Japan. It's narrative-driven by acclaimed Japanese writer Ryukishi 07, who created visual novels like Higurashi and Umineko, which I've never heard of. The spin-off will... Let's see. I think there's a typo here. But basically, it's supposed to be a terrifying world, and it's going to focus on psychological and supernatural mysteries of Silent Hill. And again, that's all the information we got. We don't even know if it's an actual game, because if this is somebody who's doing visual novels, it could be a visual novel. Like, we don't know. I mean, not to say visual novel is not a game. It's more like a book, but, to each their own, right?
It's not a game to me.
and then we had Silent Hill Ascension, which is basically, it looks like it's going to be like a Twitch plays Pokemon type of idea, where the world's ever evolving, and depending on like what everybody is doing, the world's going to change based off of that. Like, I don't know. I mean, again, that's all the information we have. We didn't see any gameplay. We didn't see anything of it. We just heard voices telling us what this is going to be. But I guess we'll have to stay tuned for all that stuff. And there is, I guess, one thing that we can be excited for, or at least I'm pretty excited for, is they're working on Return to Silent Hill, which is a new movie. And I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed the Silent Hill movies. Did any of you guys see the Silent Hill movies?
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember. I probably did watch it. I just don't remember anything about it. I mean, it's such a long time ago.
Yeah. What about you, Willie? You said you did.
I have, yes. I liked them. Like I said, my favorite TV show is The Walking Dead, so I mean, you know that I'm gonna like something like that.
Yeah. No, yeah, and in my opinion, like those movies were really good. In my opinion, they were definitely better than the Resident Evil movies, because the Resident Evil movies just took it like in a totally different direction, where the Silent Hill movies seemed to be closer to the game in terms of the atmosphere and what was going on. So I really did enjoy the Silent Hill movies. The first one had a little bit more horror to it than the second one, because I believe this is the third movie, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be the third movie. So I'm excited for it, and it seems they're trying to, like, from what I was getting from the interview, they're going to try to make it parallel to the Silent Hill 2 remake. So that's going to be interesting. We'll get to see what's going to happen. Like, the idea that I got from it, and I could be totally wrong, but my theory from what I got from listening to that interview is the game you take place as you take control of James, right? Not me, but the character James, and you take control of him, and basically he's looking for, I forget what the girl's name is, Maria, I think it is. He's looking for Maria, and he's kind of going through and doing that. It seemed to me that the movie was gonna be through the eyes of Maria, and it's gonna be kind of parallel events. So like, you watch the movie, you see Maria's side of things. You watch, or you play the game, you see James' side of things, which I think would be pretty dope.
That would be cool if they did it that way, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
kind of interesting.
Zambarella81 said that they just watched it today. Silent Hill.
That's why I laughed, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. My chat wasn't scrolling for some reason, so I didn't see that. I was wondering. I thought nobody else commented.
Going back to what you had said about the Resident Evil movies, they did come out with a Resident Evil show that's really good. I don't know if you saw that.
Which
I heard it got canceled already.
The live action one?
They canceled it?
Yeah, I heard on Netflix canceled it already.
Wow.
Which everyone was telling me it was good too. Everyone was saying like, "Oh, it's good." Like,
which one is it?
I'll watch it, and then I heard Netflix canceled. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Like, Netflix is as bad as canceling shows as Fox is as bad as canceling shows.
Oh man.
As bad as Google? Yeah, I was gonna say Google.
Yeah.
Or Google canceling stuff right after. They're like neck and neck. But yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, and that's the thing I can't invest in that. Like Cowboy Bebop, in my opinion, even though it wasn't as good as the anime, I was still enjoyed it. Was
a good show.
Yeah, it was good on its own, and they canceled it right away.
That show was good if you didn't like watch Cowboy Bebop originally. You know what I mean? Like if you weren't a Cowboy Bebop fan, but as a non-canon, as a standalone show, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, like my wife, she enjoyed it, you know, and we watched it together. And like me, of course, nitpicking everything. I'm like, no, that's not Spike. Like, you know, Spike is way cooler than that, you know. But
the only thing is like Ein does not translate. Oh, not Ein. Ed does not translate to TV.
Yeah,
like, good because like when they showed him, I'm like, no, dude, that's not gonna work. Like,
yeah. No, I agree with you on that. But yeah, that's all the Silent Hill news there. I guess, you know, be excited for it. Silent Hill's back, and it's nice to see Konami make games again, you know, versus pachinko machines, because they're sitting on a bunch of games. Like Metal Gear Solid is just sitting there, even though Kojima's no longer part of it. Hopefully they can get somebody to just remake Metal Gear Solid 1. Because, I mean, I think that would be amazing. Even though it's already been remade for GameCube, could you imagine, like, Metal Gear Solid on, like, PS5? You know, with today's graphics and things like that, like that, it can be a pretty dope game.
With no load screens, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
right. I think remakes are good for like video game preservation.
I agree,
because a lot of these games are hard to like even play nowadays. You know,
they don't hold up.
You have to jump through hoops, like just to play them, and they never hold up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the era, especially the era that Konami, I would say, is most known for. Outside of like Castlevania, which I still think all the Castlevania games still hold up today, like the other games like, you know, Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid, which is the PlayStation era, they just don't hold up to today's standards, unfortunately. I mean, you know, going back and trying to play Metal Gear Solid 1 or 2 with those camera angles, like you run one way and then the camera just automatically shifts, and then you're trying to move the analog stick, but then you start going back to where the camera was. It's like it's not ideal. And I think about it, it's like, how was I able to shoot back then? Because you're over the top, you know, and you're aiming. You're like, I don't know how to aim like this no more.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
Like very, very carefully. Like.
But yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, you know, it's nice to see that Konami's back. You know, and Japanese publishers for the most part seem to be back versus where they were in the PS3 and 360 era, where they seemed like they were going to go extinct. But, you know, like Capcom is pushing out, Square Enix is on a roll, you know, Konami's back, Bandai Namco, I guess, maybe, you know, they're there. I guess they've always been there. But it's interesting to see that. But yeah, so the other news that happened this week was Resident Evil 4. And that one I'm more hyped about because I love Resident Evil 4. It's not my favorite Resident Evil. I think Resident Evil 2 is still my favorite. But Resident Evil 4 is amazing because it did push third person forward altogether.
Yeah, like, that was the first one where they switched that, right? Where it's over the shoulder.
Yes, it was
camera.
Yep, over the shoulder. Which, you know, if you actually look at Resident Evil 4, it's too over the shoulder because it's like the camera's very close. You know, later games they actually, you know, zoomed it out a little bit, but it had that action-y thing, and it kind of like basically every third person game now is using the Resident Evil formula for things. They kind of like pioneered that and perfected it, and everybody's kind of followed the footsteps of that. But they've changed it, and they've kind of, it seems to me like they're fixing the issues I've had with Resident Evil 4, which was it was less scary and more action. And now they're looking to blend them both. Willie, did you get a chance to see the Resident Evil 4 stuff?
I did, actually. And what I've seen, it looks amazing. The gameplay looked great. It brought me back to when we played it when we were kids. I mean, seeing him do his roundhouse. Yeah. I mean, that was like a staple back in the game. I remember playing. I mean, fighting off those everything, the dogs or that were coming at you or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the new melees are pretty cool too that I saw.
Yeah.
Those are pretty awesome.
What about you, Mike?
Actually, Resident Evil 4 is the only Resident Evil game I ever beat.
Oh wow, really?
So like I'm actually like I'm actually excited for the remake. Like I watched it, it looks really good. It looks like they're not doing what The Last of Us Part 1 is doing, you know, where they pretty much just re-release a game. They're actually doing like the full like remake makeover kind of deal. And I seen too like they're changing some stuff up too, which I kind of like. You know how like the dog you save at the beginning?
Yeah.
Like now with like the dog's already dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I wonder how that's gonna affect like the later one, because I don't know if you remember, but like when you fight that giant Gigante or whatever, if you save that dog in the beginning, the dog helps you and like distracts him and everything like that. So I wonder how it's going to change like the gameplay for that.
Well, you already saw that people are already starting to say boycott Resident Evil 4 because the dog is dead.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, these people are too far with the cancel culture, dude. Like they just take it like way too serious. Like, David said he didn't play 4, but he's gonna get the remake. I think we all are.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm getting a day one.
I never played, but I'll definitely get it.
Oh, you haven't? Oh man,
I haven't played it. But I know of it again. Like I played like 1 and 2, and then I played the I can't remember if it was 1 or 2, but they redid it again. Where
1
for the Dreamcast on the Dreamcast.
No, Dreamcast had 1 was remade on the GameCube. For the Dreamcast, 2 got ported to the Dreamcast, but it wasn't really a remake.
Then that was the one that I played. Was the one on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I think the only Dreamcast exclusive was Code Veronica, which I think you remember playing Code Veronica, Mello, on the PS2 or Willie, on the PS2, and then that launched on Dreamcast, and then they had I forgot what it's called, like Code Veronica X or something like that. They came out on PS2, which was just basically the same game, just the PS2 version. But yeah, no, it's a good game. And it kind of holds up to today standards. The only thing is like you can't aim and shoot at the same, you can't aim and walk at the same time, which kind of like throws you off. So you have to like stop, aim, shoot, and then like go back.
Can you in the new one?
In the new one you can, yes.
You can?
Okay. Yeah, like Willie was saying, like they updated that. They updated like the melee attacks, like before you would have like just a knife and you can just knife them.
Right. Now,
like if they grab you, they kind of put what they did in Resident Evil 2, where you can use your knife and just hit them like in there, like in the throat or whatever. But the neat thing is that the knife now doesn't stay stuck in their body. Like Leon will pull out the knife again, so you can reuse it. So
like real life.
Yeah, exactly. Not like in Resident Evil 2. If you guys have watched me play the stream, I hated that because like you'll use the knife, you'll stab the zombie, and then the knife will stay in the zombie. So you have to kill the zombie now to pick back up your knife, which was dumb. And I lost so many knives that way because I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm gonna just keep running. But yeah, I have those videos up on YouTube and Twitch. Check those out. Where I probably jumped a few times.
I heard you'll be able to sharpen those knives now.
Yeah, sharpen. I don't know about that. That would be nice though. I would assume so probably for what do you call it? I'm trying to think of it, like durability, so you can use it longer.
Correct. That's exactly why. It's because of the durability. But yeah, no, I did read that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope. I did. I know IGN, they did have a hands-on, and they gave a deeper look. So yeah, if you want to take in look into more of Resident Evil 4, they had a hands-on like gameplay video, and they definitely said it's looking to be a true remake, but it's also expanded. Atmosphere is more horror. You can now crouch, so you can kind of sneak behind enemies. They're trying to make it seem like you're not gonna have as much ammo as you did previously, because before, after every kill, you got ammo. It looks like now you have to scavenge the ammo all around you. You can't just kill I forgot what they're called in Resident Evil 4, the zombie guys. You can't kill them and just pick up ammo from them. Yeah. So it's going to be more interesting to see.
The only thing that I don't want them to change is the voice actor for the merchant. What are you buying? Like, what are you selling?
Oh, you didn't hear him? So in
I didn't hear him though.
I watched
the gameplay on mute at work.
I'm positive it's the guy who did the Duke's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it sounds like him, but he does it very close to the merchant, but he says the same dialogue.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you watch the stream again, there's that part, like it's towards the end where they say the merchant's back, and he does give the voice there. So big props for him. It's not the same guy, but it's very close.
I don't know if y'all watched the X Play where they always used to like do
Yeah.
that. They always used to have that dude in skits too.
Yeah.
It was funny, man.
Oh,
Do you think this is like, are they gonna start remaking like all of the Resident Evil games? Because I mean, they've pretty much almost done it.
I mean, they need to do, in my opinion. So, like, as much as I'm excited for Resident Evil 4, Code Veronica definitely needs more of a remake than Resident Evil 4. Because it's still in that same era of Resident Evil 2, 1, 2, and 3. So it has the tank controls and things like that. And Code Veronica, even though it doesn't have a numbered entry, it is canon in the timeline. So, like, this takes place, Code Veronica takes place before 4 and takes place directly after 2 and 3. Which is crazy because like 3 is technically the spin-off because Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 happen parallel, and then you have Code Veronica, which is technically the real Resident Evil 3 because that happens after Resident Evil 2 and 3, and then you have of course Resident Evil 4, which takes place even further out.
Did they remake the first one or did they just start with 2?
Well, technically they're using the remake for on GameCube, I guess, but yeah, they technically started with 2.
Yeah, that's not really a remake, man. That's like 20 years old.
Maybe they'll save it for like the end or something like that.
Man, yeah.
That's true. GameCube's 20 years old. Oh snap! Like,
yeah, dude.
yeah.
Remember,
yeah. To me,
everything we and older is considered retro now.
Yeah. To me, it's like I still think like having a GameCube was just like 2 weeks ago, where I used to live a few blocks away from Willie, and we used to go over each other's house and things like that. Like.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, that's Resident Evil 4 comes out March 24th, 2023. Definitely hyped about it. Pick it up. Also, I will have links. I didn't get to post the links here. I totally forgot about it. But I will have Green Man Gaming links for all you PC gamers out there for you to click on. Every time you click on those links, it does support the channel. Basically, we just get like a portion of looks like Willie got logged off, but it basically it supports the channel, and what it does, it just gives us a portion there, and we use all that money to go ahead and get us better equipment. We'll see if Mike, I don't know, maybe we'll get him another camera or something like that. I don't know, figure what's going on. Definitely better setup. Like for my solo videos, I'm just trying to get better. Overall, I'm trying to get better equipment, like a better microphone for my iPhone, things like that. And let me see.
A capture card too.
Yeah.
I need to get one before God of War comes out because I'll have no way to stream if I don't get one.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely got to do that.
If you don't want it on PC again.
Nah, I'm never buying another PlayStation game on PC, dude.
Give me a second. I'm trying to see what happened with Willie. I wonder
Talking about Resident Evil, like, so. Because Sony announced the PlayStation VR 2, and they are doing like a Resident Evil 7 as an add-on with the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, I saw that they're doing Resident Evil 7. Well, no, Resident Evil 7 already is. They're doing Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8. He's gonna have their own VR mode. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I knew one of the games was gonna be VR mode.
You think they're gonna remake 5 and 6? Those are pretty recent entries. They're not like too old.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're within the last decade or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm real quick. I'm gonna hide our tags here. Willie's trying to get back on. He doesn't know what happened. It somehow kicked him out. But yeah, he'll be back on shortly. But yeah, there he is. Let me get him back in here real quick. But yeah, guys, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I wonder if they're gonna like go through all the way up to like 7, or if they're gonna stop at like 4.
I think, so they can do a lot to change 5, because like I'm going through that with my son right now, and it is not scary. It's definitely all action. But it has potential to be scary. Like if they darken it, make it during nighttime. Put a little bit more jump scares, less action-y parts. I think Resident Evil 5 has potential to be a good game because it's fun. Like multiplayer is very fun. I really enjoy it. It's not a bad game. It's just a bad Resident Evil. If you catch me on there. If you didn't have the Resident Evil name,
Africa, right?
Yeah, it's in Africa and it takes place all during the daylight, which is like like, what is there to be scared of? Like, you can see everybody, so it's like there's no point in that. But like there's some it doesn't have any jump scares at all. It's fun though. Like, it's a very fun action-y game. Again, it has potential to be a lot better for sure. But I mean, I don't think they'll stop at 4. I hope they go back and do Code Veronica, because that definitely needs to be updated. Code Veronica is actually really fun. And then they go on to Resident Evil 5, or even go back to Resident Evil 0 or Resident Evil 1, one of those. That would be nice. But I guess we'll wait and see what Capcom has in store, if anything. All right. So, yeah, exactly. All right, moving along. So this one was a last minute thing that I decided to add in, because this is very interesting, and I definitely want to hear Willie's take, because Willie has been a PlayStation fan since forever, since the very first PlayStation, because he had the original PlayStation, and I remember he had the PS1, the white one, the small one.
Yeah,
you had that one as well, and till today you have PlayStation. So Sony or Microsoft is trying to buy Activision, and Sony's pushing back and like, hey, if Microsoft buys Activision, they're going to have all rights to Call of Duty, which Call of Duty, regardless of what you think about the game, is still a system seller. A lot of people jump ship from Xbox to PlayStation because of Call of Duty, and a lot of people still go to the console that Call of Duty is going to support the best, or where you get the earlier updates and the maps and all that other stuff. But Sony's trying to push that as, hey, Call of Duty is a big name. If Microsoft owns Activision, they're going to have a monopoly. They're going to own all the rights to Call of Duty. PlayStation's going to go downhill, and it's anti-competitive, blah, 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 all that other stuff. Microsoft, on the other hand, is saying, like, no, like, nobody cares about Call of Duty, which that's a lie, because Call of Duty still sells, it's still played, it's still one of the most played games out there, especially with Warzone. So that's definitely a lie there. But they're trying to position there where, like, hey, if we buy Call of Duty, we're still going to support PlayStation for a while. So it's one of those weird things. So now in the European Union, they're basically asking the public to chime in. Will this affect you? Like, how big is this situation? Because they're trying to gauge this, because a lot of legislators and people who do all of this, they don't know anything about video games. They just think video games are like, when they think of video games, they probably think of back then when Mortal Kombat was a controversy. And they're not thinking of anything of like what the gaming business is. So my question for you guys is, if Microsoft bought Activision and made Call of Duty an Xbox exclusive, will that bother you? And I'm saying bother you as in, like, think outside the box. Like, if you're not a Call of Duty fan, that's fine. But just think, like, if Microsoft having Call of Duty in any Activision property, right? So you got Call of Duty, you got all the Blizzard stuff like Overwatch, things like that. If they go ahead and make all that exclusive, does that bother you? I want to start off with you, Willie, because I know you've been a Call of Duty fan. You played Call of Duty a lot. If Microsoft gets Activision as an exclusive, right? If they buy the company and they make all the Call of Duty games exclusive to Xbox, will that make you buy an Xbox?
I'd say probably just for the game. I mean, I've bought PlayStation exclusive drops that were just, my PlayStation was a whatever, Call of Duty, whatever they call that,
the theme
style. Yeah, theme. But I mean, I could see myself getting an Xbox, but I've already thought about it anyways. I mean, to be honest with you, it's hard to get PlayStation 5s still.
Yeah.
Xbox is more available.
Let me know, I got you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want one, to be honest. But no, I mean, it still wouldn't make me like Xbox more than PlayStation, because I've always liked everything about PlayStation. The way the controller is, the way you don't have to put in batteries into the controller. There's a lot of things that PlayStation has done a lot better than the Xbox, in my opinion, that has kept me drawn to the PlayStation. I would never give up the PlayStation.
Yeah, I hear that, and I agree with you. Like, I like Xbox. Actually, before I talk, because I feel like I've been talking too much today. Mike, go ahead.
Nah, it's PlayStation just being a hypocrite. they're literally doing the same thing Xbox is doing, but now it's not in their favor, so now they're mad about it. How long has Call of Duty had PlayStation exclusive stuff? You know what I mean? Like, because every Call of Duty release, there's always PlayStation exclusive stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, since it's working opposite of their favor, now they want to raise like something about it and like complain about it when they literally do the same thing every other competing company does.
Yeah.
You know, like they have exclusives, Microsoft has exclusives, and that's just like the way it is. That's the whole point of exclusives, is to sell consoles. You know what I mean? Because PlayStation isn't the most consumer friendly. You know what I mean? Like
especially today.
Console. Like
Definitely
honestly,
not.
they blocked a lot of stuff that Xbox was trying to like link with them a lot, and they blocked a lot of stuff. Because they didn't want to work with them. So
Yeah. What about you, Fan?
including Game Pass.
That's true.
Microsoft offered to put Game Pass on PlayStation and like split profits, and they didn't want it. So.
What about you, Fan?
I mean, I'm indifferent to the whole situation. Like, if it happens, it happens. It's not going to change my outlook on consoles. I mean, I used to be big into Call of Duty. And if I was and it did move over to an Xbox, then yeah, I'll probably buy an Xbox just to play it. Just kind of like how I bought a Switch just so I could play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
There are going to be those games that you want to play, and you're going to have to shell out the money for the console to play it.
Yeah.
So.
Right, it's just for the history of Everdom, it's been the same thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm okay with it. Like, if it happens, it happens.
So it seems like the panel is all on the same, waveform right here, because and I guess because we grew up through that generation, that if you want to play a game and it's exclusive to that console, you have to buy that console. Nowadays, everybody just wants it to be, on everything multi-platform, which is also nice, right? If I didn't have to buy all these consoles and I can play on whatever platform, that's also great too. But I also get it, like, it's a business. First and foremost, it is a business, and exclusives is what drives people to your platform, regardless of what it is. And I agree. I think PlayStation is being a hypocrite with that. I do get the power that Call of Duty has, but who's to say that they can't, help and make, Battlefield come back again, right? I used to love
Or they
Battlefield.
just bought Bungie too.
Yeah, that's true.
Do something with Bungie, like.
That's true. They can, team up with Bungie. There's a lot of things that they can do, rather. I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. So in my opinion, I think it's fine if it goes through. Like, if Xbox gets exclusive rights to Call of Duty, I can care less, right? I own both consoles though, and that's me. I know there's people out there who can only afford one or the other, and I kind of get that too. Yeah.
The good thing about, if you're a PC gamer, you don't have to buy Xbox. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Everything's on PC now. Like me, I have an Xbox and a PS5, but you know what I mean? Like I don't even know why I bought an Xbox. You know what I mean? Because like I haven't played it in like a year. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, because everything's on Game Pass on PC.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that this whole deal, I think it's the most pro-consumer move is for Microsoft to buy it, because they're gonna put it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So people who couldn't normally afford Call of Duty, all you got to do is pay $15 to play instead of shelling out $60, plus whatever DLCs and stuff like that they have.
Yeah. Shicey coming back says, if Microsoft bought Call of Duty and made it in Microsoft only, I'm gonna be right, because Xbox controller isn't the wave. I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I prefer the DualSense controller for sure. Like I think it's probably the best. Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard because I love this controller.
I prefer Xbox. Dude.
I mean, I love this controller.
Controller. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if you've seen this, Willie, but this is the 8-bit Duke controller. It's shaped similar to a PlayStation
awesome.
controller, but it has like the Game Boy aesthetic. And
I see it. Yeah.
and I really love this controller. But again, this is more PlayStation style, and I do like this format. But yeah, I mean, I have an Xbox controller too, and of course I have the Xbox One as well, and or Xbox Series X rather as well. And it's kind of like I don't know, like it when it comes to controllers, for me it's easy for me to switch back and forth. But I do feel like I do play better on the Xbox controller. Like I was telling Willie, when I was playing Fortnite, my aim seems a little bit off on my PS5 controller, but when I play with the Xbox, I'm definitely way more accurate. So it's weird. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I need a Elite controller like Mike, or maybe that DualSense Edge controller.
And maybe
will
your
help me
dead
out.
zone's off a little bit.
Yeah, it could be that too. I mean, or maybe I just suck,
Yeah.
you know. It could be just that too. But that's how I feel. See, the anonymous streamer says older people understand the struggle of buying the console for a game. That's 100% facts right there.
The struggle was real, dude.
Yeah.
Yo,
Especially as a kid, having to save all your money just
Yeah.
to play these games, dude.
Willie knows that. I happen to be blessed that my dad was able to get us basically all consoles growing up. Again, in our retro talk that we had, our retro episode that we had a few weeks ago on episode 10. Basically, I was blessed with having multiple consoles. In the beginning, had TurboGrafx 16, Super Nintendo, then had N64, PlayStation, and Dreamcast, and then PS2, and Xbox, and GameCube, and so forth. I've always been blessed, but at the same time, I've always known that if I want to get a game, I need to buy multiple consoles. And now that I'm spending my own money, I'm buying multiple consoles because I'm like, oh, this is on Xbox, I want to get this. Oh, this is on PlayStation, I want to get this. And then I got a PC, and now, they both kind of collect dust, except, when I play it every now and then. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. Yeah. And a lot of the younger generation don't get it. They just feel like it should be multi-platform and that's it. But, we'll see what happens
To each their own,
Yeah.
I guess if you didn't grow up with it, you wouldn't know what it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You sound like a bunch of old folk talking about it. The younger generation
Yeah.
doesn't understand.
Kids nowadays don't get this. No, that's facts. That's facts there, man. No, definitely. But yeah, any other input on this topic at all?
I hope it happens. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't think that it should matter. I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. We're gonna get whatever game, the console we want to play, whatever game we want to play. At the end of the day, most kids, if it does switch, might be sad about it, but in the end, they're gonna switch as well.
Yeah.
So my thing isn't even. I want them to own it for the Diablo and StarCraft IPs.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Microsoft can do a way better job with Diablo and StarCraft than they're doing right now.
I am going to be on the opposite side because then you mentioned that and I think of Halo.
Yeah, but they also, the way they manage 343, it's their worst managed studio.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft still puts out quality games.
That's true. Like Gears of War was great.
Terribly managed.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed Gears
You're
of
always
War.
you're always gonna have that one black sheep, in your.
Yeah.
That's 343 for Microsoft, dude. And it just happened to be Halo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know how it happened, dude. But the update did come out for Halo. I think they just added Forge and co-op.
Oh,
I believe.
well, I didn't know
for the
that.
winter season. Yeah, I think, or it's coming out, or it came out. I can't remember.
I know the Forge was in beta, throughout the months, and somebody was able to put in like a PvE mode or something like that. Like they created like some crazy thing that people said was pretty dope. I'd definitely be interested to see like when Forge, if you can go through like different playlists on there, just to try like all the different modes that people were able to create.
That's what I'm excited about. We need to see when it comes out, because once they start putting out the game types, we could probably do a stream on it again.
Yeah.
The anonymous streamer say he's looking at Gotham Knights, man. I wouldn't get it, bro. Everything I read about it said it was a terrible game.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing. I know Metacritic has it as like a 69 or something like that.
Very disappointing.
Yeah.
It's got like a 4 on GameSpot, like a 5 on IGN or some stuff. I watched the Before You Buy on it, and the guy on Before You Buy literally likes every single game he plays, and even he was like, "Yo, this game's trash." Like, you know what I mean?
Jeez.
Yeah, he also said they should make a new Star Fox. No, I agree with you. I mean, they tried with the Wii U era, it just didn't sell. I mean, I think they should do a new Star Fox Adventure where you can actually be in your ship and be out of your ship. It's just that Nintendo needs to upgrade that hardware, and that was a topic that I wanted to talk about, but we'll probably save that for next week because
really
I think
upgrade, dude.
I think we
Like
all,
a Star Fox, No Man's Sky.
Yeah. I mean, Star Fox has
dope.
potential. It has potential to be a great IP. They just, Nintendo hasn't done anything with it. It's kind of like Metroid, right? Like,
When was the last one that came out?
Star Fox Zero on Wii U, which was a great game in my opinion. Yeah, it was a great game.
That game was super overlooked.
It was.
I forgot about that game. Holy crap!
It was an amazing game, and I mean, not to complain, but I got it for free because it was like my birthday month, and they had like all these like things going on with the Wii U, so I was able to get it for free. But like I enjoyed it, and I think it's a great game, and I feel like they just need to pull out a new Star Fox, but Nintendo needs better hardware because some of these reviews I'm seeing about like the new Pokemon game, which I'm excited for. They're talking about the frame rate is not there. And I'm like,
I heard it's too much of an open world game. I was actually gonna send you the article and I forgot because I was at work. It said that like the open world feels too empty.
Oh really?
Like, no,
oh,
not
man.
Again, dude. Like,
yeah,
not again.
well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I love Legends Arceus. I think it was a great game. I have a My Thoughts video on our YouTube channel, so if you guys want to take a look at that, feel free to check that out.
Oh no, David bought our Gotham Knights without doing research. Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, it's capped on 30 on console. Yep.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. I mean, but hey, that's how that's at.
That feels bad, man. It's, the worst thing in the world is to be hyped for a game and the game is terrible. Now, not only is your hype dead, but you're out $60. Like,
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the worst, man.
And I guess before we end the stream, it's a good segue into this. What is the worst game you ever spent money on? Let's start with you, Willie.
The worst game I ever spent money on?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know. Actually, you're gonna have to pass on me on this one for a second. Let me think about this.
I know I'll put you back on the spot because I didn't write this in the notes here, but I just thought about it. It's good for some closing comments.
Worst game, huh?
What about you, Microfan? If any of you guys are ready, go ahead.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk, just because I literally started. They started announcing, I think, when like I either just graduated high school or something like that.
Yeah.
And I literally been following it for years, and I was so hyped on it. And then they just dropped it, and like it didn't work. The world was empty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just seemed like a really half-assed game.
Yeah.
So like that's like my most recent like memory one. You know what I mean? Like, but I gotta say Cyberpunk.
What about you, Fan?
I mean, it wasn't a horrible game, but I don't think it was worth the money. It was Pokemon Snap on the N64, just because it was such a short game.
Controversial opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot of diehard fans.
I mean, $50-$60, and the game was like so short. I don't think it was worth
Now
that
you're
amount of money
gonna get us
at the
canceled,
time.
man. Now we're gonna get all these boycott the random encounter on Twitter and everything.
But this is back on the N64. I'm sure the new Pokemon Snap, which I haven't played yet, is a lot better.
Yeah,
But I would probably say that's probably my worst like investment in a game.
It happens too much, man. Like you buy a PC port that's broken, like God of War. You know what I mean? Like Pokemon Snap that's short. I feel like it didn't happen as much back in the day.
No,
So for me, I was thinking about it, and I would say that the more recent Ghost Recon that came out, and they had like the open world and all that. I felt like it was just too much.
which one? The
Wildlands?
Wildlands. Okay.
Wildlands. Yeah. And I just felt like it was just the open world. You couldn't find. There was no story to it. You know what I mean? Like you're just there and walking around and fight somebody here, fight someone there, and that's it. Like
I played that game and I completely agree with you. Like, and if you didn't have people to play with, it was boring, dude.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, Ghost Recon, I could sit next to my friend and we would play for hours on the screen, and we would just play co-op. You know what I mean? And I felt like you can't do that here. It's open world even with your co-op, and so it's not fun. There's no storyline, I think.
Anonymous streamer is on Fan's side saying Pokemon Snap was not a very good game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I just even the new one that came. Didn't they just release another one? Yeah,
They did.
Like,
Yeah, they
even
did.
That one was like
Which I haven't bought it, so I'm like
I have GameFly, so you know what I mean. Like I got it from GameFly, but I don't understand the appeal of like taking pictures of Pokemon. It kind of makes you feel like a peeping Tom, you know what I mean? Just chilling, just walking up, like snapping pictures of them and stuff.
if you think about it, you can kind of do it now on Arceus, right? Because on the Switch you can do screenshots. You can literally just walk up to a Pokemon,
Right.
Screenshot it, and you just took a picture.
To be fair too, like, you know, Pokemon Snap was also teaching you animal abuse, because you throw them into like lava pits and that's how they evolve. But like, I mean, you're forcing them to do something. Why, you know? I'm just messing with you. No, I'm not going deep into that. That's all just. Yeah, that's definitely not.
Go ahead, beat this Pokemon till it evolves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll never forget. Like, I was watching this stuff. I was like, wow, like, why do I have to do this to make this guy evolve? Like, you know, he's just checking out something, and like you have to like throw something at it so it can like tip over and fall. Like, that's not cool. You know,
Right.
Some of the stuff is crazy you had to do to make him evolve and all that stuff. But for me, it's got to be Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh, someone just said Assassin's Creed in there.
Oh, no, I'm assuming, yeah, Assassin's Creed has dried up. Yeah, that's funny because for me it's Assassin's Creed 3, and because
That's
I
what
bought
I'm
this
here for,
game
anonymous streamer.
being hyped because like, oh sweet, you know, it's like colonial America. You know, you play it as Native American. You're going ahead to, you know, do some great things, right? I was like, oh, this is cool. We're gonna be able to see like New York and Boston and all that from back in the days. You get to see like George Washington and all that. It's gonna be pretty cool. Next thing you know, you're in the frontier, and man, is there nothing to do. I'm like, this is boring. You go into the village,
You're
like
just frolicking through woods.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I remember that, dude.
I was like, this is the most boring thing ever. I'm like, okay, it's like, you know, I don't get it. So I thought
You
it
can
was
run
me.
around some trees.
Yeah,
Right.
and I thought it was me. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and give it another try. When the HD remaster came out, and you got it free with was it Assassin's Creed Odyssey like Gold Edition? I went and installed it again to retry it, and it still sucks.
Still bad.
Yeah.
Dude.
I was like, the game is just not good, you know. And
You know what sucks about that entry too is like that's how they wrapped up
I know.
Desmond's story, dude.
Yeah,
and
which
like it was the
sucked.
most after you have Assassin's Creed 2 and all its like
The trilogy
spin-offs
there with Ezio,
that were
yeah.
great, you know what I mean? Like, and then you get that and you're just like, what happened? Like, what did
Exactly.
they do?
It was a shame. And you know, I still love Assassin's Creed, kind of. You know, like I like Origins. The other ones don't feel as good, but yeah, like Assassin's Creed 3 was probably the biggest waste of money for me. And I was an idiot in trying it twice, and yeah, you know,
You
so
bought it twice. You played yourself, dog.
Yep. You know,
You got played.
I thought it was like maybe it was just me, but it's not me. It's the game. You know.
Yeah, dude.
It's
It
definitely.
definitely. I don't know. I was excited about that one too because I remember seeing like the Revolutionary War stuff, and I was like, "Yo, this
Yeah.
is gonna be awesome." And then like nothing, dude.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. But that is all we have for today. I appreciate everybody joining us today. Thank you for all those follows and the subscribes. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and
awesome.
go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there. Like I said, we need 4 more subscribers. We get that custom link. And we need, how many do we need on Twitch now? I didn't
4.
get to check. 4. We need 4 more followers on Twitch. So please, if you can, let your friends know, hey, we're trying to hit those 4 so we can get affiliate. If we get those last 4, I'm pretty sure we'll be affiliate today. Willie, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitch, or you can find me on YouTube. Definitely check me out. I'll be on tonight. Actually, I should be streaming tonight. If you get on, I'll be streaming some Fortnite.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, his Twitch and YouTube, just search up Oneeyedwillie. The same way I have it written on the stream. Search that up. Also check out his Discord. I do have all his links in the description. If they're not showing up on the Twitch channel, I know for sure they'll show up on the YouTube channel. So definitely check that out so you can go ahead and basically
Thank you.
Go into his Discord. I mean, he has some great people there. He has a great community there, a huge community. So like Fan and Mike, I do recommend also popping in on there because some cool people there. Also the same people that are supporting this stream today. We really appreciate all of you.
I'll definitely follow.
Yeah, and for sure we'll show the love back to everybody else. Fan, where can they find you at?
Same. You can find me on Twitch. Just Phaneckswhy, just how it's spelled there right on my camera.
Mhm.
Same for YouTube and Twitter.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I'm nowhere, bro. No, man. You can find me on these channels, and then on Twitter you can find me at Encounter Mike.
Yeah. I decided because I never let you say where they could find you at, even though you're part of the random encounter here. Right. I figured you should get your segment too because Mike is like I said, co-founder of the random encounter. We've been going through this and we're going through a lot of struggle because of the hurricane and everything like that. All of us here actually, we had that, but we're definitely picking it up. And I appreciate Mike, for everything he's done because definitely when I was down, he was lifting up the weight. And vice versa. I'm here to get his back when channel is, and this channel wouldn't be where it's at without Mike helping out for sure. So big shout out to you, Mike.
Thank you, bro. Teamwork makes the dream work. Bro.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how you got to do it, man.
Yeah. And for me, you can always find me right here at the Random Encounter podcast on Twitch, also the Random Encounter on YouTube. Me and Mike, we do alternate days. Tuesdays are group streaming where you can find myself, Mike, and also a fan doing this group streaming, and anybody else that wants to join in, hey, shoot us a message. I'm in also Willie's Discord as SS Kenshin. But if not, you can shoot me a message on YouTube or Twitch, and we do definitely look at that. And if you want to join our stream, let us know. We'll find a game to play together for sure. Tuesdays are group streams. Wednesdays is usually my solo stream. Thursday, you got Mike's solo stream. And then Friday, we alternate with this Friday, at least for now, being Mike. But if anything changes, you'll find one of us on Friday for sure. And then, of course, we do have our solo videos that wrap up, during the week, typically on Thursday and Friday. I'm trying to do 2 videos this week, but if not, I definitely will have at least 1 video, and then Mike will have 1 video this week as well.
The November game list is gonna come out probably within a week or so.
Definitely, and definitely take a look at his October game list. He has a bunch of good games to be on the lookout for. It's a great insight. I mean, I watched the video myself, even though we're part of the same thing. I still watch the video because there's a lot of insight that he does give on these games. Some games I didn't even heard about, like them fighting herds, like
them fighting herds. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like the horse fighting.
I haven't
game.
played it yet. I haven't played it yet, but I was actually thinking about buying it because it does look good.
It looks very interesting. It's a fighting horse game.
It's Ponies.
Yeah, it's like My Little Pony Smash.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's definitely a crazy game, but yeah, definitely watch out his video where he has some cool stuff there. And you can always find our podcast live every Sunday on both Twitch and YouTube, where we try to get special guests all the time. As you know, today's special guest was Willie. Next week, we're trying to have another special guest lined up. Hopefully, he can join it there. And from here on out, we'll see. We'll get you that random encounter every Sunday for sure. My name is James. Thank you, Fan. Thank you, Willie. Thank you, Mike. And we'll see you on the next time in the random encounter.
Peace.
Later.